Now, since we covered USDT, sorry, US 500 and the XY. Okay, hello Bakarik, hello Mark, glad to see you here. Let's go over crypto. Let's get into it, starting with USDT dominance. Again, you can go here, go to my profile, you type USDT dominance, but I don't think we'll find this one because like I never find it. I'm not sure why, but if you scroll down, you'll be able to see it. I'm not really sure why I don't find it. It should be this one, but it's not. Maybe, no, not this one, USDT. Give me one more sec. Okay, it's from CryptoCap. Okay, so if you go here, it's from CryptoCap. So I'm not really sure what's wrong. Okay, maybe this one. Okay, yeah. So like this one is in dollar. This one is in percentage. I personally went for the percentage or for the dollar. Okay, not really sure. Um, it's an index. Okay. Okay, fine. Okay, so unfortunately, we can't find USDT dominance. Let me try one more trick. Let's go to 2 because I guess it's there. USDT.D. Let's go for 3, maybe. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's it. Finally. Okay, so this is it. I mentioned that we have a support here, a massive one, as you see, and a demand also here from H4 time frame. We'll see it better when we check the chart. And I'm expecting a reversal from here, unless you can, of course, like you can check the description here, unless we have a break below this, like this 7.9%. If you click on play, you can see the results. So we rejected the zone and we traded higher. We didn't break below the zone, and of course, like by break, I mean a candle close below it. We didn't break below it. Instead, we rejected it, and then we had a new high formed here, broken upward. We traded higher. Now let's check the update. So rejected our support, the 7.9%. And we traded higher. We are currently approaching a minor resistance, but like the stronger one is around this area right here. We might be trading lower. Okay, like we'll check now. How do we know on lower time frames? But if you go to H4, and if you remember last week, we mentioned that sorry, we are stuck inside a consolidation unless we break higher or we break lower. If we break lower, we're expecting further bearish movement. If we break higher, we'll be expecting further bullish movement. We are currently forming like a head and shoulders pattern. But anyway, for the bears to take over, we need to see a break below this one. And when we break below it, it would be just what? A correction before another impulse movement push the price higher. But again, let's take it step by step. For now, we are bullish. We'll be expecting a bullish USD dominance, expecting a bearish crypto market. Okay. Um, so until or unless we see this break. And very similar scenario when you check Bitcoin. We are currently here around this area. If we break it higher, that's why you see my alert just above the zone. We'll be expecting a correction movement higher, just like a correction movement on USDT dominance lower before we trade higher again. Vice versa on Bitcoin, correction movement higher before we trade lower. And if we trade higher from here, this is a massive zone that we need to keep an eye on because it's a supply zone. It's a drop, a base, and then a drop. It's a D, B, D, right? Drop, base, drop. Okay, so there's a massive supply lining up also with this resistance zone right here. So around 17K 350 to 17K 500. Meanwhile, let's get back to our daily time frame. So, which is very, very important. We've got two possible scenarios from here, of course, up or down, right? But but how do we know where we are going next? How we can get prepared from it? We start from the higher time frames for the overall vision, and then we go lower for extra confirmation, for extra confluences, for our trigger, for our and then like whatever, and of course like for our trade management and so on. So far we know that we are overall bearish. Big impulse movements, correction movements, big impulse movements. We are currently in a correction. And if we compare this phase to the previous correction, so impulse, correction, impulse, and correction. Let's zoom in and compare it. We had a high broken upward, a high broken upward, a retest till this previous low, retest to the previous low. We might even trade a little bit lower or from here. And then we had a higher high, right? Higher high. So we might be having this higher high. And then we had this next bearish impulse. This one makes total sense because this impulse will lead us to 10 to 12K, which is lining up perfectly with this lower 10, with this lower trend line in orange. Okay, this is the first analysis, but this is just a vision, like from a long-term perspective, that like history might repeat itself if we see this, and then we'll be trading lower again. And yes, if we trade higher, it would be just a correction, just like this one. For the boost to take over, we need Bitcoin to invalidate this big channel. To invalidate it, we need to see a break above the previous high, which is currently this one. And if you trade higher, make a new high. In this case, we'll be updating this one to become the 20K. But again and again, let's take it step by step. If we zoom into the H4 time frame, we are currently here. If we trade higher, this is a very strong resistance. This is a very strong supply. For now, I can't really add much, except that from H1, we had a weird price action. We broke above this high, and we are currently retesting the zone. If you break above the zone, as mentioned previously, that's my alert. Let me add it anyway. Okay, that's it. Here we go. Break it higher, we'll be expecting another bullish movement till this area, lining up with this trend line, lining up with this previous highs right there. So from 17,350 to 17,500. Meanwhile, if we have a daily candle close below the zone, expect further bearish movements. Okay, I'm very sorry. Noise. Okay, so if we if we break below this one from daily time frame, expect further bearish movement till the lower bound of this big range. Okay, that's it for Bitcoin. Let's move forward to Ethereum. We can clearly see that we are currently retesting a resistance, previously a resistance, then a support again here multiple times, and then we've got this resistance. And yes, we broke above the high, but it's just a small minor one. It might be just a signal to correction before the next impulse movement push price lower. And even if you go a little bit higher from here, okay, so if we have this break, the bulls would take over and we'll be expecting a bullish movement. But keep in mind that this area lining up with this area, previous highs, supply zone, is a strong area that might be pushing the price lower. From a long-term perspective, the exact same vision that we had on Bitcoin, we are bearish, retesting a resistance zone, and we'll be expecting now this bearish movement till this previous lows or even the 1K. That's why you see many alerts here. And if we break this one higher, we'll be expecting a bullish movement till the 1500. So this is basically it. Can't really add much, except, as I mentioned, let's go to H1 to show you better. If we break this one higher, expect a short-term bullish movement till here. If we break this minor supply resistance, that's it. If we break it lower, then expect further bearish movement from here. We would be rejecting this resistance zone. Okay, like we've got someone new, Triple Man. Hope you're doing good. If you have any questions, let me know. We've done US 500, the XY, USDT dominance, Bitcoin, Ethereum. We felt the market. Let me take a sip, take 5 seconds break, and we'll move forward with our list. As usual, I have a big list, right? So I'll try to cover as many as possible like during this session. If you want me to go over a specific one, please let me know in the like in the members talk, or for those who are watching on Twitter and YouTube, please also let me know in the comment section, and I would be happy to do it. But I'll keep on going through this big list as much as I can. Let me take a sip and we'll move forward. Okay, we'll start with NWC as usual, around a massive demand zone between 0.02 and 0.05. I have my alert inside it. In case we drop till here, I'll be looking for buy setups. On a medium-term perspective, we've got this channel that for the bulls to take over, we wanted to exit this channel and break above this resistance zone. Previously as supply, then rejected multiple times, now as support, broken downward, now a resistance. So for the bulls to take over from a long-term perspective, I want to see this happening, and then we'll be expecting a bigger bullish movement. On H4 time frame, if you zoom in, and as mentioned last week, if you remember, we are trading inside this shorter term channel, inside this bigger channel, right? And for the bulls to take over here from a short-term perspective, I have my alert here. I want this break to happen. Then I'll be expecting this bullish movement, and then I want a break above this and this for the bulls to take over from a long-term perspective. So short-term, medium-term, and then long-term. Okay. That's it for NWC.